What is going on, my Roonies? We are back with another YouTube video. It has been so long since I've made one. I've had a lot of stuff going on between post-show prep, work, holiday, all this kind of stuff, and I haven't actually made a YouTube video. I was going to make a peak week video, but I actually lost all the footage to that, and I really wanted to film a show day video, but once I actually got was getting pumped up to go on stage and stuff, there was just too many people and there was just no way I was going to be able to get a camera out and basically record all of it as I was going for my show day. And then afterwards I was just with my family, friends, had food and all that kind of stuff after, so it was a bit hard getting my camera out that day. But hopefully, if I do another show in the future, which I do plan on doing, I will hopefully be able to record that one. But today's video is going to be tips for post-show, because now that I'm about 4 weeks post-show and I've experienced the highs, lows, done some good things, as in done some things right, done some things wrong, but it's all a learning experience. So today I'm going to give you some tips on basically how to go about doing post-show, things to do, things to avoid, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to take you through a delts and forearm workout and then just go through what my new split is and my goals basically moving forward from here. So we are just about to eat. We're having some steak and then in like a couple of hours we're going to go train. So I'll take you guys when we go to the gym. So I'm gonna enjoy my steak and then I'll see you guys when we are at the gym. Alright guys, so here is the shoulders and forearms workout. So since my shoulders are probably one of my stronger parts, probably my strongest part, I'm only hitting them once a week with not too much volume. And same goes to forearms. Like forearms aren't super duper important because you do a lot of work for your forearms when training other exercises. So that's why today's workout there isn't as much volume as other workouts. But we're starting off with some overhead press just to hit all 3 heads of the deltoid, 3 sets, 6 to 8 reps. For the second movement in our workout, we're hitting some reverse curls. These are probably my go-to forearm exercises. Get a really good contraction doing these ones. For this, we are aiming for 3 sets of about 8 to 10 reps. I like having that rough rep range, as sometimes when you go up in weight, it can be like an extra 2.5 kilos for some exercises can be a lot. So that's why I like having the in between 8 to 10, just in case you do go up in weight, so you can go down to 8 reps if you need. One thing to be careful of when training forearms is to make sure that they're not getting in the way of your other exercises. So like making sure that you're not doing forearms one day and then trying to do a heavy back day with a lot of pulling the next day, as your grip's going to be affected and your back may not get the work it needs. Heading into the next exercise, we're getting into some cable lateral raises. So these, oh my gosh, what a pump you get doing these ones. So as much as I love using the dumbbells for this is really good because obviously you're getting the constant tension with the cable. So from the start to finish, you're getting constant tension on that lateral head of the shoulder. For this one, this was just my warm-up set. I didn't film my working sets, but usually for this one, I go 3 sets around 8 to 10 reps for this exercise. Now heading into some behind the back wrist curls. I think these are called, I'm not sure if that's the proper name or not. But these ones now working the forearm flexors, because obviously we're still trying to hit all parts of the forearm. Even though they're a smaller muscle, a smaller muscle group, they're still made up of a lot of different muscles, and so you still need to hit different angles to making sure you're working all parts of the forearm. Now this is the second exercise in the forearm workout and the only 2 exercises I do for my forearms. Because like I said, you don't want them to affect the rest of your kind of volume in other exercises. And because like I said, they're important, but they're not the most important. And my forearms aren't like completely terrible, so it's not like I need to hit them all the time either. For the last exercise in the workout, probably my favorite rear delt exercise is the face pulls with a tricep row. Get a really good contraction in my rear delts doing this one. Do not forget to hit your rear delts. To give that full boulder shoulder look, you really need to focus on hitting your rear delts. That's one thing I see a lot of people missing, is just that back part of your shoulder. Like your shoulder is made up of 3 parts. You need to make sure that you're accurately targeting or like making sure you're hitting all the 3 heads and getting enough volume for all 3 of the heads. Alright, so we are back from the delts and forearm workout. We've got our camera set up here. We're going to go through some tips on basically post-show and what to do. First, or this is the biggest tip of them all, have a plan. This is where having a coach is super helpful because they've been coaching you throughout all of this and they can help you decide what's best for you after you finish your show. So, for example, the way we went about it after my show was done, I had a week of, let's call it, controlled eating. I didn't track any food. I went to the gym when I felt like it, but it was more of a deload week in a way. Cardio, was still doing cardio, was still going on the treadmill, was still doing the stairs, was still walking, still doing a fair few steps. Food, I kept it as controlled as I could. I had a rough calorie estimate of what to aim for, but still allowed myself to have like treats or whatever you want to call it and have what I wanted to eat. Heading into week 2 though, after prep, so week 2 post-show is when we were like, okay, we need to like basically get your body back to where it was. It's going to take some time. It's a slow progress, not necessarily slow, but it takes time to get back to where you were. So we increased calories slightly from what they were at the end of prep. So only a very small increase, about 200 calories, nothing ridiculous yet. Then we we got rid of some cardio. So my cardio near the end was like, I don't know, 170, 180 minutes. So we took it down to 160 minutes of cardio, kept the stairs the exact same and kept steps the exact same. So what you want to do at a prep is gradually build these things back up or gradually remove these things. Your body's been so used to doing these things for ages and it's been on such low calories for an extended period of time that you need to gradually build back up. Otherwise, it can lead to some really bad health implications. And it can also affect how you make progress on your next bulk. If you go out, pig out for weeks and all that kind of stuff post-show, you're gonna put on a lot of body fat, you're gonna hold a lot of water, and you're gonna put on a lot of unnecessary weight that you don't need to. So have yourself a plan of what you're going to do post-show. As hard as it's going to be, honestly, post-show discipline was probably harder than before the show discipline, just because once you're getting ready for the show, you have that goal in mind, you've been working for it for weeks. Once it's over, it is hard to get, when you start eating food and stuff again, it is hard to kind of actually stop yourself. For the first couple days after my show, I honestly could not. The afternoon and the day after my show, I legitimately did not stop eating for like that day and a half. And it is hard to stop and like be like, okay, I have to cut back down again, and you will be hungry, but that's a part of it. That's what your body needs. All right. Tip number 2 for post-show is have a meal plan. This kind of follows along the same idea as the first tip of having a plan, but now this is regarding food. Have a meal plan, but allow yourself to have meals that you like. So what I found works best is meal prep. Meal prep most of your meals, but allow a few hundred calories for things like treats or things that you know you want to have. Meal prepping was essential to me in actually stopping me from overeating. So I knew I had meals made, I had them all tracked out and ready to go. They're in MyFitnessPal, and that's what I ate. And it helped me heaps, but I still allowed myself, like I'd say, Kit Kat, I'd have a Kit Kat, not every day, but most days, because I really liked Kit Kats for a while after my show. But I'll allow my 200-300 calories for those kind of things. Some days you may need more, some days you may need less, but stay close, stick to your calories as best as you can. It is going to be hard. There'll probably be days where you spill over, there'll probably be days where you undereat. It happens. That happened to me. There's days where I just felt kind of so sick from the food I had been eating, so I wouldn't eat as much, but then there's days where I'd absolutely kind of pig out and have way too much. And look, it's all a part of it. But meal prep, track your calories post-show. I know you've been tracking your calories for ages, but you're gonna have to do a little bit more. So yeah, track your calories, make your meals, make them as nutritious as possible, make them filling so you don't feel as hungry after them, and then allow yourself some calories for treats and things of that nature. Tip number 3, which honestly, this one's probably the one you need to understand the most, is that prep, you may put on weight, you may feel like crap, your stomach may not like you, you may not like how your body looks. All these kind of things, I just want to say, are normal. My coach did this really well with me. You're gonna not look your best, you may overeat, you may do all these things, and post-show is completely normal, especially if it's your first show. Once you get more advanced, you learn how your body works, you learn how to handle yourself a bit better post-show. But like for me, that was only my first one, and I had no idea what I was doing post-show, all the things I needed to do. And it is all a part of it. It's a learning experience. Do not stress about it. Like, do not stress heaps about it. Yes, post-show is super, super duper important, but don't let it ruin you. If you overeat, it happens. If you undereat, it happens. If you have too much crap, it happens. If you're bloated, hold a lot of water, don't look as good, it happens. All these things are normal post-show, and like, that stuff happening is just, it's completely normal. I know it sucks. Like, looking at myself probably a few days after my show, I not necessarily lost my abs, but I was holding a lot of water, less veins, didn't look as good, obviously, as I did like on the stage and whatnot. It sucks, but it's all a part of it. You'll build yourself back up and go from there. We are outdoors for the next one. So, this is actually the last tip too, by the way. So tip number 4, this one nearly kind of broke me, and that is that the feelings you are going to have post-show, not like how you feel about your body and stuff, but mentally how you're gonna feel after your show. So you've been in a diet and a prep, goal-driven, routine-based lifestyle for so long, and coming out of that was honestly the hardest thing ever. So my show day, after I finished, came home that afternoon, I felt good. I got to have food again, I was with my family, I just completed it, I felt really good. The next morning though, it kind of hit me that like, I woke up, I didn't have to be up at a certain time, I didn't have to track my breakfast, I didn't have to hop on the scales, I didn't have to put the watch on to track my steps, and I felt so lost. I've been, like I said, in a routine-based kind of lifestyle for 16 weeks, and to come out of that was honestly really hard mentally, and it doesn't necessarily take a toll, but you may feel upset, you may feel a bit sad, you may feel a bit lost, and just like the other tip before, these things are normal and not going to last forever. Have something that you can work towards after your show. Pardon me. So, because you've been focused on this big goal for so long, it is so hard when that goal is kind of like done and you feel so lost afterwards. So have something you can work towards. That could be your post-show plan. That could be, like for me, I started my new job as a PT the same time as I finished my show, so it was good because I was going into something that I could work on and have goals for that, or just have goals that you can aim to achieve after the show. Having stuff that you can work towards after the show, so you don't feel as lost, so you don't feel as down, so you don't feel as sad, and you have things to do, and get back into some sort of routine. It doesn't have to be as strict as it was on prep, but maybe let's say your goal is to get up at 7 each morning and read 10 pages when you get up, or get up and go have a cold shower. Add little habits back in so you don't feel as lost. This tip is probably one of the biggest ones that I remember feeling like, not crap, I felt so sad and down and out of it the next day, and like, you kind of not snap out of it. It does get better, but like, damn, I woke up that morning and was kind of just sitting on my couch just like, what do I do with myself? And it is a part of prep, and as much as it sucks, it's something that, yeah, like, it's normal for like most people after a prep, and like, it's a part of it, so don't stress. Last thing I want to talk about before I end this video up is what my current plans are now. So like I said at the start, we are 4 weeks post-show. My new training plan is chest and arms, so like chest, bis and tris, Monday, back and quads Tuesday, shoulders and delts Wednesday, Thursday is chest and arms again, Friday is back and hamstrings, and then Saturday is chest and arms. I really want to bring up my chest and arms in this off season. I want them to grow. I want my chest to be fuller. I want my arms to be bigger, as they're probably my weakest parts. My legs, I'm doing like a normal amount of volume for, just because I'm not sure if I want to do physique or go onto a different category next time I compete. Because obviously my legs for me are a strong point. I do want to show them, but it will depend if I decide to do physique again or not. They just don't need as much volume. And back is like, my back's not my best part, but certainly not my worst. It doesn't need as much volume as chest and arms do. And then shoulders are like my best part, so they don't need as much work, so I'm only training them once a week. And we are now on 3,190 calories, so we slowly built calories back up. And cardio is at 140 minutes and stairs are at 40 minutes. The 140 minutes of cardio doesn't have to be anything high intensity. It can just be walking, but just a dedicated cardio time. And that's kind of like what's going on at the moment, as we're going to bulk. The plan is to bulk for the next kind of year or so. We'll have a mini cut maybe thrown in halfway through the year next year, and then the plan is to compete again in 2024. So take a year off season to really grow and kind of get bigger, and then compete again the year after. So at the moment, kind of like a body comp. So obviously I did put on a bit of weight post show and a bit of holding a bit of water, holding a bit more fluff, especially around the mid area, which sucks. So at the moment, calories aren't like bulking calories yet. We're gradually building them up. So I wouldn't say they're bulking calories, but they're not really dieting calories. That's why I'm kind of calling it body recomp calories. And then we're gonna gradually build up the training intensity again, and yeah, hopefully really grow this off season. So I appreciate you guys for watching this. Sorry it's been so long since I've made a video. I want to try and do one YouTube video a week. So if you guys have any idea of what you want to see, let me know in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video.